Very emotional for me today. I've been in the hot seat before, and I've experienced the vortex extremely strong, but today's overwhelming.
Well, if you find the vortex overwhelming, first of all, we like that. We like that you're there and feeling it. But if you find the vortex overwhelming, it just means that
That slingshot's been stretched pretty far.
And you're in the process of getting up to speed with it. You're in the process of getting up to speed with it. After you hang around in it for a while, it's like Jerry will say to Esther as they're walking down the hallway, incredible, unbelievable, wonderful, new material. And Esther will say, sort of was like talking about what we're having for lunch for me. In other words, it's like Esther gets in the bathtub and has just the most wonderful bath and spends a few minutes in there, and while she's in that water, the water cools off, and then Jerry steps in right behind her and can't even get in it. The water is so hot.
Yeah.
And we say, well, once he's in it, he'll adjust. Same thing is true, in other words.
Yeah. Just to follow up, children are a big part of my life. I have 4 of them. My youngest reminds me a lot of me and the struggles that he is better off because of my understanding of Abraham and all that, and my wife's understanding. So I want to thank you for that. And Jerry,
and don't shortchange the benefit of the struggle either.
Mm-hmm. And that was what came out to me loud and clear this last person that was sitting here, that those are challenges not only for my son, but for us as parents and teachers, understanding that they're teaching us more than we're teaching them.
If you anticipate problems that your children might have and try to feather the nest around it to prevent them having it, all you do is prepare them to have an abrupt awakening when they step away from you, and they will.
Yeah, right.
So how much better is it for them to understand the range and the bounce while you're with them, which is what you're saying.
Yes.
In other words, let them have life experience. But rather than teaching them about the vortex by pointing out what they're living, teach them about the vortex by living what you're living. And let them figure it out by watching. Because when you hit it head on, sometimes they resist.
Sometimes, most of the time. Emotions is something that has been kind of the theme that we're talking about. And growing up, that was something that was always told to be, or I had always suppressed. I'd observed that in my parents and just kind of, so my model was my father, and his expressing or feeling emotions was almost non-existent. And so I don't understand how to really do that as well as other people.
Here's something we want to say to you, and this will help you. You don't learn your emotions from your parents. You learn behavior from your parents.
Right.
Your emotions come natural.
Yeah, right.
Good time for a segment of lunch.